Turn to your neighbor, say, Shalom. Welcome to Heroes Vacation Bible School, Day 4, where we're making big differences in small ways. You know what? Here at Heroes Vacation Bible School, we are bold. Yes, that's right. We're bold. We speak boldly because Jesus is with us. Are you bold? Yes, you are. Okay, friends, it's time to stand up. Stand up, heroes, stand up. We're going to sing our theme song. Remember, you have to do the motions with us. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Our prayer wall this week has really began to fill. What I want you to do for me is to write your prayers down and add it to our virtual prayer wall so that we can pray for you. Look what surprise I have for us today. Do you know what this is? That's right, it's a microphone. Today I have a microphone to remind us to be bold for God. You know, sometimes as little people, we're afraid to be bold. We're afraid to speak out and let people know our thoughts. But you know what? With God, if you have something to say, you can say it. If you want to sing, you can sing it. God wants us to never be afraid to share His will with others. Look what I have today. Do you know what this is? That's right, it's a microphone. Are you brave enough to use a microphone? Yes. A microphone helps us to be bold, to speak up for God. Indeed, it does. You know, when God tells us to do something, we can be bold and do it just as He told us to do. There's no reason to be afraid. So, if you have an idea, speak it. If you have a song, sing it. Because God has not given you the spirit of fear. He wants us to be bold for Him. Okay, let's go on. Dropped it in there. 3, 2, 1. Our story time hero today is Rhoda. You know, one day Rhoda heard a knock at the door. Can you guess who it was? That's right, it was Peter, who was supposed to be in prison. She ran to tell the other Christians in the house that Peter was at the door, but no one believed her. But that didn't stop her from speaking up. She was bold. So let's go over our action point for yesterday. Do you remember it? Yes, it was be caring. Jesus is with me. So now today, we're going to go over our new action point. It's be bold. Jesus is with me. Can you say that? Be bold. Jesus is with me. One more time. I need to hear it nice and loud. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Be bold. Jesus is with me. Very good, very good, very good. Let's continue on. Don't sit down yet. We have our memory verse. Remember Psalms 27:1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Good job. You have such a great memory. Now we're going to add a new part. Are you ready? It says, of whom shall I be afraid? Can you say that with me? Of whom shall I be afraid? Very good. Now let's put it all together. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Psalms 27:1. Great job, heroes. I couldn't have done it without you. You know, we're real heroes when we are bold for God. Let's sing a song about it. I'm sure you'll remember this one.
Today is the day they will see you are more than enough. Today they will know that you keep every promise you have. 'Cause you are the key, giving hope and a peace that will last. Today they will know that your love is enough for them now. So I will shout and sing of all your wonderful ways.
That was a great song. I want to boldly go, just like they said in the song. I have a question. Have you ever done something right and other people just didn't take you serious? They didn't listen? It's bold to do something right, even when people may not believe you or take you seriously. Let's sing a song about it. Come on, stand up. Let's sing it together.
I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back. When he steps to the left, I'll follow Jesus. Steps to the right, no turning back. The stars now I'm down. I'll follow Jesus. On the way to heaven, no turning back. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back. When he steps to the left, I'll follow Jesus. Steps to the right, no turning back. The stars now I'm down. I'll follow Jesus. On the way to heaven, no turning back. Jesus is with me. I will not be afraid. What can anyone do to me? Jesus is with me. I will not be afraid. What can anyone do to me? Jesus is with me. I will not be afraid. What can anyone do to me? Jesus is with me. I will not be afraid. What can anyone do to me? I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back.
Okay, friends, it's time to get going now. As you know, there's so much to do in Bethany. I don't want you to miss anything. So I'll see you later, heroes.
Hello, my name is Alana. This week, you've been hearing stories about kids in the Bible who were heroes for God by making a big difference in small ways. Today, our story is about a girl named Rhoda. Her story teaches us that God's heroes are bold. Rhoda was very bold. She was a young girl who lived during the time of Jesus, Peter, and all Jesus' other disciples. Her story takes place a little after Jesus had left earth and gone back to his home in heaven. Now that Jesus was gone, his disciples were doing their best to preach and share his message with everyone they could. But some people didn't want that to happen and would do everything they could to stop it. One of those people was King Herod. One day, he arrested Peter, one of Jesus' closest disciples, and put him in prison. The rest of Jesus' followers were very sad when they heard about this. They loved Peter, so everyone in the whole church started praying for God to help him. During this time, Rhoda was living in a house where many people would gather together to pray for Peter. She worked there as a servant, and one of her jobs was to answer the door and let people in when they came to visit. One night, during one of these prayer gatherings, there came a knock at the front door. Like usual, Rhoda got up to answer it. But something very surprising happened when she came close. She heard the voice of someone on the other side asking to be let in, and she stopped dead in her tracks. The voice was Peter's, the same Peter who was supposed to be in prison. That should have been impossible, right? Well, you see, during the night, God had done something wonderful. While Peter and the guards were sleeping, an angel appeared in Peter's cell and helped him walk right out the door. Isn't that miraculous? Once he was free, the first thing Peter did was head to the house where Rhoda and all those other people had gathered. Rhoda didn't know exactly how God had rescued Peter from prison, but she knew what hearing his voice on the other side of the door meant. God had finally answered their prayers. Suddenly, the only thing she could think about was telling everyone else. She was so excited that she ran to tell the others right then and there. She didn't even think to let Peter in first. All she could worry about was sharing this wonderful news with everyone else in the house. Have you ever had something exciting to share with someone else? Was it easy for them to believe you at first? Rhoda's news certainly wasn't easy for the other people in the house to believe. When Rhoda came to tell them, the first thing they thought was that she'd gone crazy. You're out of your mind, they told her, because they couldn't imagine that the same Peter who was supposed to be in prison right now would be standing outside their door. Rhoda kept insisting that she was right. She was sure it was Peter at the door, but the others still weren't convinced. And when another knock came at the door, they decided to get up and go see for themselves. How do you think they felt when they opened that door and saw that Rhoda was right, that it really was Peter after all? I bet they were just as surprised and overjoyed as Rhoda was. You know, even when nobody believed her, Rhoda kept on insisting that she was right. She was so bold. She continued to stand by what she knew was true, even when everyone else doubted her. And just like Rhoda, when we are bold in our lives, we can be heroes for God too.
Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back. My name is Imani, and today we're going to be working on a friendship spinner. So this week we've been learning about how you can make a big difference in small ways, just like our friend Rhoda and her bravery in the Bible. So speaking of being bold and brave, this activity today is going to be a friendship spinner. So the kind of materials that you will have are your pattern circles. You can color in the patterns on one side, or you can flip them both over and just use the blank side and make your own patterns. You will have a cardboard center that you'll put the two papers in between, some string, and you can also get some markers, crayons, or color pencils, whatever you want to use to decorate the outside of your spinner. Now remember, we're supposed to be bold, so we want to see bold colors on our spinner. It'll look a lot cooler when you spin them. So first step is I'm going to decorate the outside of my spinner. I really like this pattern on the outside, so I think I'm just going to color in some of the squares with different colors. Let's see. I think I'll use a little bit of all the colors. Why not? Just take those all out there. Now, when you're coloring your fidget spinner, you can color it just randomly if you'd like, or you can make cool patterns. I think for mine, each section of my my friendship spinner, I am going to make a pattern. So my first pattern will be red, green, red, green. Just like this. And now you can do it however you choose. This is time. Probably should have colored this already. Edit that out. So with my spinner, I'm continuing my pattern all the way around. So here I did yellow, purple, blue, orange, however you want to do it. So you would continue all the way around. Since we're making a friendship spinner, my friend had the awesome idea that we could put our friends' names on the outside. So I'm going to write some of my closest friends' names. That is Ariana, Brittany, Kim, and CJ. Those are my 4 closest friends. And then just for fun, so that's how it looks on the outside. Then just for fun, I'm going to put some squiggles in between their names just to make it a cool design. So that's how I did mine. So I'm going to continue my color patterns all the way around. I'm almost done, so we can get spinning soon. All right, this is the outside of my friendship spinner. I can't wait to see what this looks like when we spin it. So our next step is we want to make sure we have our outside colors on the outside and then the cardboard in the middle. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to glue my color sides on the outside of my cardboard center. And I want to be careful. For you guys, the holes will already be poked. So you want to make sure that you line the holes up so that the string can go through. So I'm going to take my time and take my glue. Maybe. I'll just use it. Okay. 3, 2, 1. So I'm just going to glue the inside of my design and then put glue also on the outside of my cardboard so I can line them up. So I have to be very careful with the holes. They fit together. So here's one side. Now I'm going to do the other side. And if it starts to come off like mine, that's okay. Just add a little more glue, make it stick. Then I'm going to add glue to the inside, my other design. Again, I'm going to look closely so I can line the holes up so the string fits nicely through. So here's my friendship spinner. You can see the both sides. Next, we're going to take our string. We're going to string it through the holes all the way through. So next I'm going to string the hole all the way through my friendship spinner. So I'm going to put it about halfway through and leave it hanging out the other side. And then I go back and take the second string and put it through the second hole. And do it about halfway as well. So you want your friendship spinner to sit right in the middle. Then you're going to take the end and tie it off together. And if you need help, that's okay. You can ask somebody to help you tie it. And make a nice knot. We don't want our friendship spinner to fall off our string. There we go. So it's right in the middle. And now you just twirl it and pull. And you can see the effects of the different colors and patterns when you spin it. It looks really awesome. I really hope you guys enjoyed this activity and I look forward to seeing you again. Goodbye.
Hello, friends. It's great to see that you've returned. Today, we're going to learn about boldness. Would you like to practice being bold? Share what you've learned in some of this week's stories. What story did you hear about being brave? What story did you hear about being devoted? What story did you hear about being caring? What story did you hear about being bold? What is prayer? What story did you hear about being brave? What story did you hear about being devoted? What story did you hear about being caring? What is prayer? How many times have you been to the prayer oasis this week? Thank you for being bold and sharing what you've learned this week. Another part of being bold is speaking to Jesus through prayer. Thank you for being bold and sharing what you've learned this week. Another way to be bold is talking to Jesus through prayer. We can ask him to help us share with others. Now, as I pray, I'm going to point to you, and I want you to say the action point that goes with the words that I said. We're reviewing what we've learned this week. Are you ready? Dear Jesus, we want to be bold and share. Dear Jesus, we want to be bold for you. Give us the words. Dear Jesus, we want to be bold for you. Please give us the words to share with others how to be brave. Dear Jesus, we want to be bold for you. Please give us the words and wisdom to share with others how to be devoted. Dear Jesus, we want to be bold for you. Help us to share with others how to be caring. Dear Jesus, we want to be bold for you. Help us to tell others about you. Help us to be bold. When we pray about being bold, Jesus gives us the confidence and the words to be able to tell others about him. Who can you tell about the things you've been learning at VBS? Our time at the Prayer Oasis has come to an end once again. It was so good seeing you all today, and I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.